Yo guys, what's up? It is Ripe again, back with episode 32 of our Reddit series, and I hope you are ready to get annoyed at some entitled people. But before you do, don't forget to like the video to get 60 Ripe points, and if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. So let's hop right in.
Fire her so that I can have my old job back.
A few years ago, I had the pleasure of working with Kim. Kim had an administrative job at our shared place of business, and we worked together for about a year. She was not a great employee, mainly due to attitude and a constant stream of missed time for assorted reasons, most of which seemed to be lies. Kim eventually found her dream job, which we discovered after she failed to call or show up for 3 days straight. We parted amicably enough, even allowing her to resign to avoid ending things on a negative note. And that was the end of that. In Kim's absence, Lee had been promoted and quickly proved to be excellent at the job. Consequently, we were not really all that excited when Kim reappeared about a week after her departure, sobbing and begging for her job back. The dream job had not been very dreamy after all, and she was running low on funds. Moved by her pleas on behalf of her children, the manager agreed to bring her back on a trial basis to fill the vacancy left when Lee was promoted. It was a step down from her previous position, but it was immediately available. A short, very blunt conversation ensued where she demanded to know why she could not just have her old job back. We explained, again, that the position had been filled and that the entry-level spot we were offering was the only thing available. We pointed out that she had been a no-call, no-show and that she had burned a lot of bridges with the company by the poor way she had handled her departure. The offer of any position with the company again was a kindness. Pure and simple. She then said,
"Well, the only reason I came back was because I figured you would miss me and want me back. I don't really think I need to take a step down, do you?"
This resulted in a long silence, and I was on the verge of telling her to just forget about it when she got up to leave. She seemed to sense she was pushing her luck and said,
"I really appreciate the opportunity. Maybe some doors will open for me and I will be able to move back up soon, whatever."
I half expected her to blow it off and just never come back. She came in late the following day and accomplished almost nothing. Instead, she divided her time between hovering over Lee and hiding in the break room with her cell phone. After being asked repeatedly to return to her work, she abruptly left without a word. The next day, she did not come in at all, and we left a voicemail at the end of the day informing her that her employment had been terminated and that her final check would be mailed. The following day, she arrived bright and early and demanded a meeting with the manager. Upon being told that she would not get a meeting and that she was not welcome on the premises, she threw a massive tantrum in full view of the office. She said that it was
unfair
and that we had
taken her job away
and given it to Lee and that she had kids to feed and that we needed to be
nicer.
We explained that she was not entitled to the job and that she had squandered all of her bargaining power by walking out twice. Furthermore, the job was taken, it was now Lee's. She then dropped her purse along with the immortal line,
"So just fire her so that I can have it back."
It was one of those moments that just sticks with you. We were all kind of shocked at her audacity and single-minded selfishness. Lee was really uncomfortable, as you can imagine, and quickly left the room. Without saying much of anything, I picked up Kim's purse and handed it to her and walked out. She sat outside for a long time and then left. She called back 6 months later and asked if we were ready
to give her a fair chance.
Obviously, we declined. Guys, have you ever had a run-in with those people at work that always try to do as little as possible but still think that they are essential to keep the place running? Tell me in the comments if you have ever experienced that. Another
"I was here first"
story when I met an entitled mom sitting in my booked train seats with 2 kids. My husband and I are now 18 years together. In the first 12 months I initiated the "do you want kids?" conversation as I really liked him, but I did not want an unexpected deal breaker to come later on in our relationship. How delighted was I when he said, I never really wanted to be a dad, and there I was, cock a hoop to find the perfect man. Neither of us like to sit near kids. In restaurants, we regularly move tables if screaming kids are seated near to us. We both roll our eyes at non-parenting lack of skills in public. I don't know if it matters, but we are in the UK, and as a child-free couple, we have disposable income to go away on city breaks for overnight stays in a hotel. Not flashy like Holiday Inn, we are not millionaires, but we don't have the cost of raising children and it's just the two of us. Yay! In England, you can get cheap train tickets if you book 3 months/16 weeks in advance. Like really good rates. You can also choose online the seat you want to sit at. I am sure you know where this is heading. We had booked 2 seats on a 4-seater table and we are looking for our seat numbers when we spotted our table with an EM and 2 kids under the age of 10. But don't quote me on this because I'm no expert. Anyway, there are around 100 colored felt tip pens, coloring books and cartons of OJ. Well, as long as that's not cartons of MJ, I think that's okay. Also crisps/chips and paraphernalia spread all over the table and Mummy was texting on her mobile phone. Now over here it's legal and common practice for people to bring their own cans of beer on the train. Hell, if you want it, you can buy a bottle of vodka and some mixers and down the lot. Think stack and hen parties, etc. Also, I had packed a couple of cans of lager. I was ahead of my husband and said, "Hey, excuse me, we have 2 reserved seats on this table." And I waved my tickets under her nose. Obviously, with 1 mom and 2 kids, she does not want to move from seats that I reserved 3 months prior. Keep that in mind.
Well, there's nowhere else we can all sit together,
she said, gesturing the chaos spread across the table. So are you good to move now or not? The mom said, passive-aggressively,
"Kids, we need to go, as this lady has reserved seats and we will all be split up and we have to pack everything up now and move to a different carriage."
Me cracking open my can of lager and taking a sip. No rush, my hubby and I were just watching the free show.
"Yes, this lady needs this whole table to drink her lager, so pack your bags so she can sit down and drink her lager."
It's at this point that my husband takes out his can of cider and pops it open. I am now giggling like a loon. Me, thanks. Did you guys ever have the experience that you reserved something and then some entitled person totally ignored the fact that you reserved something? Tell me in the comments, I'm curious. Okay, Ripe Stars, as a little bonus, I will now read the update to the credit card fraud story that I read a few days ago, since many of you were interested how it continues. So here we go. Mother-in-law opened a credit card in my husband's name to pay for my sister-in-law's wedding. So it has been a few months and things have been interesting with my mother-in-law. My husband made a police report and since it was well into the range of felony theft, a detective took the case. About a week after he made the report, the detective calls us and tells us that other officers had just arrested my mother-in-law earlier in the day at her own workplace. My husband tried to call his father but did not get an answer. My mother-in-law ended up spending the night in jail since she was arrested late enough in the day that she could not see a judge that afternoon. Apparently my father-in-law was at the jail and had basically no cell reception when my husband originally called him. My father-in-law did call my husband around 9 to 10 p.m. and said that he understands why we went to the police. The next morning comes around and she posts a $2,500 bond and gets a court date. We hear literally nothing from her at all, which is completely out of the ordinary. For 3 months, there's hardly any contact with my father-in-law either. About 1 month ago, the court agrees to drop the charge down to misdemeanor theft and she agrees to a plea deal of 250 hours of community service as well as 2 years court supervision, and she has to pay restitution of over $20,000. When I saw that $20,000 number, I was confused. My husband was confused as well. We had no idea what was up with that since it was $8,000 from us. It turns out she took out a credit card in my sister-in-law's name as well to pay for the wedding. Same company and everything. And to top this off, we found out a few weeks ago that she had been getting inpatient psychiatric treatment shortly after getting out of jail. She did 60 days in a facility and has been getting ongoing treatment since then. Last week was the first we have heard from her in months, and she apologized profusely and genuinely seemed to mean it. She said she did not see what she did was wrong when she did it, but she knows now she should have never done it. My husband and I forgave her. We knew she had been kind of acting weird for years, and it seems like it was some sort of undiagnosed mental health issue. The credit card is no longer on my husband's credit, and the collection company sent us a letter saying that they have removed the debt from their books. His credit score is back to where it was. I cannot stress this enough. Look into your credit score every once in a while. I got some advice in my original thread that helped. Call the police if you discover anything not yours on your credit. Make the report. It literally would have been impossible for us to get rid of the debt without making a police report. My mother-in-law would probably still be having mental issues as well. So guys, it was exactly as you said, the police report would have been the best decision, but I see how it can be obviously hard for some people to call their parents out on something like this. But in the end, as you can see, she got the help now that she desperately needed, and without that police report, she would have probably never even received it. Alright guys, if you have watched this far, please let me know by posting some nice little star emojis in the comments. And now let's continue with r/I don't work here lady. I don't work here, I own the place. Background: I'm a small Chinese woman living in a predominantly white neighborhood. Our house has a large front backyard and we like to do the gardening ourselves. I don't speak with an accent and I usually use a very English name for easy communication. I called for a free estimate from a local duct cleaning service and scheduled it on a Saturday. My mom and I were in the front yard planting flowers and de-weeding, chatting family stuff in our own language while enjoying the nice weather outside. We were in full gardening gear, complete with straw hats and rain boots with face masks on. A white truck with a trailer drove up and a mid-aged man jumped out. Guy waving me down.
Hey, where's the owner of the house?
Me pulling down my mask. Oh, you must be the duct cleaning service. Please come in with me.
No, I need to speak with the landlord.
I am the landlord. Do you need to come in the house for the
No, I need to speak to the person who made the call.
Me pulling out my phone. Okay, hold on. Dialing the company number. Hi, I'm Susan. I'm standing right in front of you. I don't think I will be needing your services today. Goodbye. The guy stood there, dumbstruck for a moment, and then sulkily walked back to his truck and left. My mom looked at me confused and asked in Chinese, "Na shi shen ma?" I shrugged and answered, "Looks like we need to call another duct cleaning company." Is it just me, or was that guy simply a racist? I suppose he was thinking that the Chinese ladies with their straw hats could not possibly be the landlords or the owners of that house. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Thanks for the job, Karen. The cast for the story is me and EL for Entitled Lady, aka Karen. So during high school, I worked at a fast food chain in a shopping center. The uniform was a blue baseball cap, red polo t-shirt and navy blue pants. I was working the registers one Saturday when Karen comes up and orders food. Her food was not 100% to her liking, so she came back and complained. She seemed like a typical Karen, and that was before I knew Karens were a thing. So I just ignored her and got her a new meal. She seemed okay with this, but she made a big deal of noting my name badge and saying she would remember my name, which is a fairly unusual name, but I did nothing wrong and my dad was friends with the area manager, so I did not care. Hours later, I had finished my shift and walked over to the grocery store in the shopping center. I was tired after a long day and still had my uniform on and forgot to take off my name badge and hat, which I usually did remove. The grocery store has a uniform as well, green button-up tops with the grocery store logo embroidered on it and black pants or a skirt. Almost the total opposite to my uniform. Also, I would have smelled like oil and chicken. Anyway, I'm browsing in some aisle with my earbuds in when I manage to hear a loud clearing of throat behind me. I turn around and see the same Karen from before glaring at me. I go back to what I'm doing and she clears her throat even louder. So I take one of my earbuds out and this conversation happens. Me, what?
Where's the exotic food aisle?
Huh? What?
The exotic food aisle. You know, with the Asian and Indian foods.
I don't really eat that stuff. I'm allergic to chili.
That doesn't matter. You should know where the aisle is.
Why should I know that?
Because you work here.
No, I don't. I work at the fast food chain. In fact, I served you today, and you complained about the food and said that you had made a note of me.
I know, that's why you should help me now.
But I don't work here.
You work in the same shopping center. You should know where everything is.
Well, no, I don't. I'm going to go now. Bye. And I put my headphones back in and try to forget about her. My next shift at my store, the following Thursday evening, I get called into the manager's office and the area manager is there, the one who is friends with my dad. He said the head office got a very angry call from Karen demanding I be fired because I was rude and unhelpful. He knew me and knew I wouldn't be like that, not at work anyway, so he wanted to know what happened. I told him the story and thankfully he believed me. Apparently, she called back the head office on Friday to find out if I had been let go. She was told that I had not and got very irate. By the way, thumbs up if you have heard the word irate before. I'm not sure exactly what happened after that, as the area manager would not keep me in the loop, but he clearly put in a good word for me, as the following year I got a job in the head office straight out of high school. Also, I did not want to continue to study, university is expensive and I did not know what I wanted to do yet. I was there for 2 years and it started my career in corporate, which I still do to this day, albeit in a totally different company on the other side of the country, but still. So thanks Karen, you weird lady. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the content for today, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as this really helps me out a lot. And I'm telling you, in 2 to 3 months, we will be one of the biggest Reddit channels on YouTube. And I say us, because without you guys, without my ripe stars, this would of course all be impossible. So thanks again for watching, and don't forget to come back tomorrow when we read some more r/EntitledParents and maybe r/ProRevenge. I hope you have a great day.